name's Yvonne. I'm with the Fort Bend County Libraries in the Stafford branch. Today I'm going to show you how to do button flowers. Here I've created a nice little bouquet with our button flowers that I've made. And also button flowers can be put on many things. We got wreaths, you can make swags to go in your fireplace, all kinds of things. So let me let you know what kind of supplies you're going to need for this. So of course you're going to need scissors and pliers. And then just an old book. So you're just going to rip out the pages of an old book. It doesn't matter what the theme is. If you want to go with the theme of the holiday and do a holiday book, or nobody's going to read them. But anyways, just old pages from a book. Then I've got some patterns here that you're going to use to cut out your flowers with, and you're going to trace that on your book page. Of course, here's some book page flowers already done for you. Then I did some felt. I had some green and some red felt for the flowers, and that these are for the leaves, and you can also make flowers or other accents out of the red to go with the felt. And then of course you need buttons. Right here I just did these regular colorful buttons here, but you can get some vintage buttons, which would be great with your, like, maybe some vintage paper, vintage books, things like that you can use anything. But right now I'm just using just the plastic ones that I got at like Hobby Lobby. And of course I did some construction paper, so you could do some flowers out of construction paper as a contrast. Then I've got a pin push, and then here's your wire. You could use two different kinds of wire. This is just an 18 gauge wire that we found on a spool that I used for most of the flowers. But I also had some green florist wire. The green florist wire worked well too, so either one of those will work for your flowers. Of course, a pencil to cut out, actually to trace your flower. And then I have some festive holiday shiny pipe cleaners here that you can use to wrap around your stems or make flowers or leaves or anything else that you want to accent your button flowers with. Alright, so that's all you need. So let's get started. Okay, first of all I'm starting with just my page cut out from the book. I'm going to take one of my templates from the flowers. I'm just going to trace it onto the page here, and once it's all traced, then it's going to look like this, and then I just cut it out. Okay, once it's cut out, then we're going to take maybe some accents to maybe use as an underbase of the flower, maybe use some of the construction paper, or and you can do that, and you can cut that out of your red construction paper, maybe a little bit bigger to make as an accent for the other side. A template on the book page, and then I did the template a little bit bigger with the construction paper. Okay, and then after I've done that, then I'm going to take my button. Let's see, let's do a yellow, or do you guys want to do a green? We could do a green button in the center. Do you guys see that? A green button in the center there? And I'm just going to take my pencil, and I'm just going to make some spots right here where the dots go, just so I know where to put my wire. So we're just going to use that as a guide, okay? It's kind of hard to see right there. Can you see that? The little dots I made? Okay, so that's where we're going to put our holes that we're going to put our wire through, okay? So I'm just going to take this little push pin. I'm going to push it in through here. This is going to make it easy for your wire to go through because there's already holes done, okay? So once I've done that, then I'm going to take my wire, okay? So I'm going to start with the florist wire here. Okay, so I just have the green florist wire. I'm going to take that and go through one of the holes. Right here. There you go. So I just threaded it right through the hole, right through the bottom. Okay, and these are the holes that I already pre-did. Okay, then we're going to take your button, and your button's going to be threaded right there, you see? Okay, and then we're just going to bend our wire to fit back through the hole. Do you see that, guys? Back through the hole, right back through that other hole. Okay, now this is the tricky part. Now you got to find the holes that you made with your push pin. Okay, so I'm going to put that in this hole here. It's kind of hard to see, but there, you're going to put it right here. And you know what? Your paper is pretty thin. If you don't get it in through the exact hole, you can always just push through. Okay, so once it's pushed through, you're going to pull everything taut through the end. Do you see that? I pushed everything through taut through the end. And of course, you're going to have some wire overlapping. Do you see that? Okay, and this is where you're just going to sit there and you're just going to twirl it around each other, okay? You can use a pair of pliers if you want, if your wire's like a little stiffer, but this one right here you should just be able to use your hands. So see how I'm just kind of twirling around the smaller piece, around the larger piece right there. Do you guys see that? Like that? Okay, so then we have the start of our flower. That was pretty easy, huh? Okay, so if we wanted to, we could add some leaves. So if you wanted to add leaves, of course, you can always untangle your wire like that. I'm just going to untwist it. Okay, and so of course we have our leaves already done. And I just cut those out freehand. You can use, you know, a template if you want, but I just cut these freehand. Now these are going to be a little hard to go on through the wire. So if you want, you can go ahead and just pre-punch them with your little, let's see, push pin. Just pre-push it with the push pin, and then it should go through your wire pretty easy. Okay, so now we're going to put our leaves. I just went ahead and untwisted it, but I'm going to take one of the leaves and put it through the end of this. And I had already done these with a push pin, so that should go pretty easy. If I can find my hole that I made. There we go. See? Just fits right there on that wire. Then I've got the longer piece of wire, and I'm going to put the other leaf through it. You guys see the other piece of wire? I'm going to put this other leaf through it. I did make some holes already with my push pin, so it should be easy to go through. And I'm just going to thread it down on there like this. So this is the back, this is the front, this is the back, and you're just going to use your wires, and then after you're done with your leaves, then you can just go ahead and twist it again. Okay, so I'm just twisting the smaller piece of wire around the larger piece, and then I have the long stem. Do you guys see that long stem there? So this is the top, this is the bottom. Your leaves are going to be a little floppy, but that's fine. If you want, you can use maybe some different fabric that maybe has some wire in it already, or maybe some ribbon, so your leaves will stand up straight, but you know, it doesn't make a difference. You can use anything you want. Okay, so once that's done, then maybe we want to cover this wire with some glittery, what are these? Chanel strips right here. Okay, or pipe cleaners you could call them. Chanel strips, pipe cleaners. So I'm going to do this is I'm going to make something pretty, maybe kind of one of those little twirly cues that goes out the side of the wire. So I'm just going to actually just twist it at the bottom, okay? But then I'm going to take another one. Let's see, let's go for this red one, and that's what's going to be our stem. We can just put that at the bottom like that, okay? And then we can just twirl it around our green stem, and it decorates our green stem, makes it pretty. Do you see? You know what? You guys don't have to do this for the holidays. Y'all could do this for maybe for Easter with some pastel colors, or maybe you can do it, you know, red and white and pink for Valentine's, and make maybe more heart-shaped flowers. Okay, so now that I've got that on there, I've got these two right here. So I'm just going to take my pencil, and I'm just going to twirl it around that Chanel stem, to make sort of a curly cue. Do you see that? Like that. I'm going to do that with this other side too. Just going to twirl it around, make my nice little curly cues. So there I've got my flower. See, I've got the little button with the book page flower, the little accent of the construction paper, and then there are my leaves. And once that's done, if it's, you know, you can cut it to size. Like if you just want to glue it to, say, a wreath, you can just cut off the end and then glue it to the wreath. Or you can have it standing tall and put it in a vase as a flower. See, here's my vase of flowers. All I did was I got a mason jar and I put rocks in it, and I just put all the different flowers of different sizes and different heights, and just stuck it in the mason jar. Isn't that cute? So this is the one that we have that's long. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use right here my pliers, and they have a little spot right here which cuts the wire. So I can do that. I'm just going to cut it off at the end. And you know what? You can even, after you cut it off, you can even, if you can't get it cut off, you can even just bend it like that. I just bent it in half. And cut this end off. Right there. Well, I don't know if my pliers are dull and it just doesn't want to bend. There we go. Like that. See, isn't it cute? I'm just going to add it right there in the center. You guys see it right there? That's my bouquet. See, and these are so cute and festive. You can even do little ones to go on a wreath like this. So I just kind of cut them off short at the stem and just hot glued them onto my wreath. Like I said, you can make swags to go on your fireplace. You can make it with vintage buttons, vintage books, vintage ribbon, just, you know, vintage paper maybe to go on the outside. I didn't have any vintage buttons, but I just went ahead and bought some at Hobby Lobby. So you can do all kinds of things in all kinds of themes with these little button flowers. Well, that concludes our program for today. I hope you enjoyed our craft, button flowers. Again, you can do all kinds of things. So you can make a wreath. I made a wreath with them, and you just cut them off short, or you can make them tall like this and make a bouquet. If you're looking for other ideas for the holidays or other crafts for your kids and yourself, you can go to fortbend.lib.tx.us, which is our website, and click on scheduling, and you'll see all our programs there. You can also go to our YouTube page or our Facebook. Thanks for joining us.